Good morning to all of you. It is very wonderful to have today Dr. Sekhar with us. And in the afternoon we are going to have Bhagawan, who is also here with us today. I would like to give a small introduction of Dr. Sekhar. We are very fortunate today to have Sekhar with us. Dr. Sekhar has been in Sai for over 3 decades, during which he also served the Sai organization as an office bearer in Central San Jose. With Baba's grace and blessing, he has conducted several SatSang all over the world with importance of Swami's teaching, including the practical applications of Veda life. And he was a strong man behind the Mount Kailash trip with all Sai family. And I know in our center also Bhagawan has accompanied him. He has shared a lot of experience regarding that trip. And he was blessed by Baba that he has conducted 2 Maha Atirudra Yajnas in India. On behalf of friends gathered here, we lovingly welcome Dr. Sekhar. We have best instrumentalist accompanying Sekhar today. First is Rajesh Bhai on Dolak and Gopal Kalluri on Tabla. And our bhajan master and the harmonium player Krishna Pai. And now I hand over this stage for Dr. Sekhar. Sai.
शम्भव यदि शम्भवे च मयो शङ्कराय शङ्कराय नमश्च नमः शङ्कराय नमः शङ्कराय शङ्कराय नमो नमः शङ्कराय च शङ्कराय नमो नमः शङ्कराय च शङ्कराय च शङ्कराय मयस्कराय मयस्कराय च शङ्कराय शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय शङ्करायेति शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय मयस्कराय च मयस्कराय च मयस्कराय च मयस्कराय च मयस्कराय च मयस्कराय मयस्कराय च नमो नमश्च मयस्कराय मयस्कराय च नमः मयस्करायेति मयस्कराय ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमश्च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे ॐ श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः शरदिन्दुविकासमन्दहासां स्फुरदिन्दीवरलोचनाभिरामां अरविन्दसमानसुन्दरास्याम् अरविन्दाननसुन्दरीमुपास्महे ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः अन्तरानतिमिरोपशान्तये शान्तपावमचिन्त्यवैभवं तन्नदं पशिपुञ्जगन्मुखे मन्महे किमपि तुन्दिलं महः ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विशते भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानाम् ॐ श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः आयत भक्ति मुख्यद आयत भक्ति मुख्यद महामहिमोज्ज्वल सत्य धर्म संधायिकी आयत भक्ति मुख्यद महामहिमोज्ज्वल सत्य धर्म संधायिकी लोक रक्षण विधायिकी भक्त मनस्सरोरुहस्तायिकी दीनहीन जनता फलदायिकी तलिगुंडलो हायिकी तल्लिगुंडलो हायिकी पुट्टपत्ति कलशांबुधिकी शायिकी सत्य आयत भक्ति मुख्यद पुट्टपत्ति कलशांबुधिकी शायिकी सत्य सायिकी I offer my loving pranams at the lotus feet of my dearest father, mother, guru, preceptor, teacher, friend, pal, dude, so many things that I can imagine a lot more that I cannot even comprehend or imagine. Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I request him to be present with us, guide us through this offering at his lotus feet, brothers and sisters. Om Sri Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Ram. Thank you, Sai Ram. I want to be very clear that this is not a presentation. Let's be very clear about this because I am not capable of doing any presentations or anything like that. Today is an offering at his lotus feet. I don't want to call this a presentation or a program so that you all sit and relax and enjoy and I will be the one that will be sweating. No, that's not the way it's going to be. We are all going to come together and collectively offer our love at the lotus feet of our greatest avatar on this earth, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So what it means is we are collectively going to come together, samyak kritam. We will do it together. We will think it together. We will chant it together. We will sing it together. We will live it together. We will love it together. We will learn it together. We will listen it together. That is the aspect of offering our love at the lotus feet of Guru. A little bit of technical details. Brother, can you take out that echo thing? So I don't want echo because I don't want to listen to myself. I want to listen to all of you. Thank you very much. That helps a lot. Are you hearing echo? Yeah. There's a lot of echo on the thing, so you can take the echo button off or decrease the echo and increase the bass, and that should take care of it because as I said, I don't want to listen to myself too much. If it echoes, then I'll be listening to it too much. So this today is a very auspicious. This is a very auspicious moment of the celebration of Guru Purnima. What else we want to be? To come together under the feet of Sai Nath Bhagavan in the basement. It's under his feet, isn't it? And to be under his feet is the Shaktipatam of the Guru. You don't need to do all that kind of. I want just the echo to be taken off. So, or reduce the echo. So yeah, that's better. Don't, you can give the volume now. Yeah. Is that better? Yeah. That sounds more reasonable to me. Yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry to bother you. Yeah? So, I want to first of all thank Bhagawan for bringing us together. I usually don't come prepared for any of this because, as I said, these are offerings at his lotus feet. The energy of the satsang is really about the collective awareness and the energy of the satsang. That's it. Because Bhagavan is like a reflector. In the presence of him, you offer a little bit of love, it gets amplified infinite number of times. You just sit, relax, and suffer from happiness, you won't reflect anything back. So, I will tell you, last weekend I was at the Sathya school invocation function in Toronto, Canada, and when a small girl asked me a very beautiful question. How is it possible that God is present so many places at the same time? This is the question a 6-year-old girl asked me in the satsang. That was her question. How is it possible that Swami is present at so many places at the same time in his full potential of divinity? Explain it to me. Now I can't use big words like omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence and all that. 5-year girl won't even understand what I am talking about. So I started asking her the question. There is water vapor in the air. This water vapor, when it condenses a little bit, like in New Jersey, becomes humidity. Like you have been experiencing for the past few weeks here. Yeah? And this humidity, if it condenses a lot more, becomes a cloud. And that, if it condenses a lot more, becomes a cumulus cloud. And if it condenses a lot more, then what happens? You will get rain. So I asked this little child, is it possible that it can rain in Toronto, in Singapore, in Delhi, in Bangalore, and in California at the same time? Is it possible or not? I'm asking you the question. Yeah, it is possible. It is possible that it can rain at so many places at the same time. How is it possible? Because the humidity can condense at any place, at any time, and can shower the rain. So I mentioned to this little girl, just like that water vapor is in the air, the divine presence is all pervading at all the times in the air. When it condenses a little bit, it becomes humidity. Condenses a little more, it becomes a cloud. When the devotee's intensity is strong, that's when the divinity can manifest at so many places at the same time. It is nothing to do with God. It is the intensity of the devotees. If the intensity of the devotees is not present, it is simply a picture. It is simply an empty chair. It is simply an imagination. When the intensity of the devotees is there to sing his name, to think about his glory, to chant with full potential, offering as if Bhagavan is right now sitting here. Bhagavan is right now sitting here. Thinking that this is the mandir in Prashanti Nilayam, and that is not an empty chair, and that Bhagavan is manifest in full potential. If that intensity of the devotees is there, absolutely he will show his presence, and absolutely he will shower his grace. So, the responsibility of invoking and arresting and crystallizing the divinity is dependent on the devotion, not on the divine. The divine is ready to manifest himself at any time, at any point of time, with full potential. But that invocation has to happen with the devotees. When we just sit back, relax, and we don't sing his name, when we just sit back and think about whether I locked my garage door or not, did I close the door or not, what's happening on my SMS, who is calling me, when all those distractions are there, absolutely the divine won't pay any attention to you. Why? Because we don't have the intensity that the divine is sitting here. Therefore it is said by Upasani Baba, very beautifully he said, Sada Satswarupam Chidanandakandam Jagat Sambhavasthana Samharagetum Swabhaktechayamanusham Darshayantam Namamishwaram Sadgurum Sainadam. The
entire essence of Bhagavan Baba is summarized in this very first sloka. The entire essence of Bhagavan's glory is summarized in this sloka. Nothing more. If we understood this particular sloka, we understood who Baba is. We are singing Sainatha Mahima Stotram. When we are invoking this Sainatha, when we are doing these aratis to him, brothers and sisters, in the Sainatha Mahima Stotram, look at what Upasani Baba is saying. Sada Sat Swarupam Chit Ananda Kandam. Sat, Chit, Ananda, all the three are mentioned in that line. Sada, always. Swarupam, Sat in English translation is being. Chit in English translation is awareness. Ananda is bliss. Kandam, absolute. Sada Sat Swarupam Chidananda Kandam means being, awareness, bliss, absolute. Take the first letters. Being, awareness, then bliss, absolute. Upasani Baba said in that line, Baba, in English. Sada Sat Swarupam Chidananda Kandam. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupam, that is what he is. He is absolute Satchidananda Swarupam. Then you ask the question, absolute Satchidananda Swarupam? This absolute Sat Chit Ananda is from which? Jayate, Gamayate, Iti, Jagat. The one that comes and goes has come out of this absolute consciousness. Jagat, Sambhava, evolve. Sthana, resolve. Samhara, dissolve. The entire Jagat, what comes and goes, has evolved, resolved and dissolved into this absolute consciousness. Sada Sat Swarupam Chidananda Kandam Jagat Sambhava Sthana Samhara Hetum. That is the cause of the entire cosmos to evolve, resolve and dissolve. He manifested the second line. What does this consciousness actually do? Whatever we are seeing, coming and going, is coming from this absolute consciousness and going back into that absolute consciousness. Liyate gamayate itilingaha. The one that emerges and merges, from which everything merges and emerges. That is the linga. What is the difference between merge and emerge? Question to you. What is the difference between merge and emerge? What's the difference, Arya?
Merge is to come together.
Yeah.
Merge is to come out of.
Very good. The only difference is E. Merge and emerge, the difference is E, isn't it? And that E is what is energy. That E stands for energy. Everything is merging and emerging out of only E. Energy. What is that energy? That energy is the divine consciousness. And that energy, from that one energy came actually two energies. The first energy is the potential energy. The second energy is the kinetic energy. Hello. This is very simple physics. All of you know this. The net energy is always constant. That is divine energy. Energy can neither be destroyed nor constructed. Energy is only one. That energy, even physicists have to accept, there is only one energy, but several energies. Only energy is only one energy. From the energy came two. Now what happened? It has to manifest. Something has to come out, something has to go in back. So what has to emerge, what has to merge? When it is potential energy, and from the potential energy comes manifestation of the Chaitanya, which is the kinetic energy. Potential energy is Shiva, kinetic energy is Shakti, and therefore Shiva Shakti Swarupa one means there is only one energy. Simple, no? How simple it is? It's not very complex. It's not what I said. Bhagavan actually explained all of this shloka one time. I had the vision where Swami was explaining all this stuff. Only one energy, From that energy comes potential energy. Potential means unmanifest, abundant, resplendent effulgence that is unmanifest, and that is what is described as Rudra. Incredible effulgence. And from that effulgence, something has to come out. What has come out is the kinetic energy, that is manifestation of the Shakti. Jagat Sambhavasthana Samharahetu. Now you ask the question, how can anybody comprehend or even imagine or conceive, how can they even perceive that absolute consciousness? It is impossible, it's impractical, it's incomprehensible. Tripadurthavudai Purushaga Pado Sekhar Bhavat Punaga. Tripadurthavudai Purushaga. 3/4 of the divinity is unmanifest. Only 1/4 has manifested. If we are struggling to understand 1/4 of what is manifested, can you even comprehend what it is to imagine the 3/4? Impossible, impractical. Now you have to ask the question. Swabhaktechaya manusham darshayantam. This divine consciousness we are calling, it has 5 foot 3 inch afro-haired Indian dude, isn't it? We have made him that. We made that picture and we said, this is Baba, this is divinity. How come that infinite consciousness be that 5 foot 3 inch personality? That's where Upasani Baba is explaining, Swabhaktechaya manusham darshayantam. It is because of the will and the prayers of the devotees that absolute consciousness is appearing in a human form. Is appearing in a human form. Notice this very clearly, very cautiously pay attention to that. That means what? He is beyond the human form. If you are a mosquito, he is a super mosquito. If you are a human, he is a superhuman. If you are an elephant, he is a super elephant. He is the icon of the divinity just represented in that form. It is not that human form, it is beyond that human form. To that divinity, who is Sai Ishvara, I offer my humble salutations and pranams. Now if I start explaining the entire Sainada Mahima Stotram, we'll be sitting here whole day. Because such is the power of this Sainada Mahima Stotram. Such is the power of every single arati we sing to Shirdi Sai Baba. But brothers and sisters, why are we thinking about this context of this divinity? Why am I mentioning this? Is the importance of the bhakta is as much as the importance of the divinity. If the bhaktas did not pray, that form would not have come into existence. You understand that? The bhaktas are the ones that invoke that form. The bhaktas of all the ages have prayed that God should come manifest in the human form, and therefore he has come as Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. The Mother Earth and the entire cosmos had prayed that he should come and lift the consciousness of the entire universe with one avatar, and that is the Sai avatar. We have taken it so easy and so granted that we are thinking that, he said 96, we will aram karenge, baad mein dekh lenge, still 15 more years is there. What opportunity we have gotten to even to know that God has existed in human form through his absolute grace and love, that one can know that God existed in human form. Now we take that human form of God and we try to analyze it and paralyze ourselves, thinking that he is separate from that Shirdi Baba, that Shirdi Baba is separate from this Parti Baba, and this Parti Baba is separate from some other Baba, and all the gods, we separate each other. And what do? We are splitting the one into many, we become pieces, but in absolute reality, there is only one thing, the peace, P-E-A-C-E. When we actually come together, divide our mind together, it is Vibhajana. Means what? Division. Vibhajana in Sanskrit means division. When you unite the Virat Purusha and merge into the Virat Purusha, the V is taken out, then what happened? Bhajana. If you do bhajana, your mind will not go into pieces. That's what Swami said. Bhajana madidre mana vibhajana agadu. If you do bhajana, your mind won't get split into many pieces. But if you do not do bhajana, only bhojana, then it is khana, pina, sona, marna. That is all it is going to be, nothing else. Life is very simply khana, pina, sona, marna. Why do we do bhajana? You look at the word bhajana. Bhajana. What is the meaning of the word bhajana? Bha means effulgence. Jana means masses. When the entire masses are filled with the effulgence of the Divine One, then it is bhajana. Otherwise, it is simply technical jugglery, trying to figure out what scale you are singing, what raga you are singing, what roga you are suffering, what bhoga you are enjoying. And there is no yoga. The yoga is to unite with the One right here and now. That is the purpose why the Guru has taken this absolute pain to come in that human form. The infinite has come in the finite only to demonstrate us to go back to that infinity. With all this prelude, what I'm trying to say is, when we are singing the bhajan, please participate, please clap, please sing His name, because you will not get this opportunity to sing for Him again. How do we know whether we will wake up tomorrow morning or not? Wake up here now and be present to the form of the Divine and to the name of the Divine. Merge absolutely in smarana. In that word smarana, there is marana. Isn't it? In the word smarana, there is marana. What is marana? Dying. What is smarana? Remembering. But how is it related to death? I said in the word marana, in the smarana there is marana. Marana is death. Smarana is? He said it. Krishna said it very beautifully. Smarana means remembering His name at the time of death. If you don't remember His name at the time of death, let me tell you, you are thinking about some laddu, you will come back as a fly going around. At the time of death, you remember jilebi, come back as a fly. When the shopkeeper looks at you, you will die. You don't know what you will come back as, because as a fly you cannot even think properly. So now this cycle goes on and goes on and goes on. Finally, after doing incredible millions of births of good karma, you get the opportunity to be born as a human being. After innumerable number of births and deaths, you accumulate so much of punya, that punya gives you the human birth. When you get that human birth, the only reason why you got the human birth is to make it the last birth. That's what Bhagawan said. The reason why you got human birth is to make it the last birth. Why? Because everything else is body, mind. And you have been given that intellect. So you got to use all the three BMI, not body mass index. BMI, body, mind, intellect. Together to be here and now and sing the name of the God. So Bhagavan says beautifully, Bhaktulandaru cheri, Bhagavantudayanuchu, Chavula kimpuganuti cheyudinamu. A day is called a day when devotees come together and sing His name loud and clear to evolve into this beautiful effulgence. Deenula vetalanni preetito tolaginchi annadammula matkinunna dinamu. When they come together and serve the needed as brothers and sisters, that day is a day. Daiva chintana cheyu dasa brindamulaku preeti mrushtannammu pettu dinamu. When you take the God-loving ones and you give them a sumptuous meal, that day is a day. Mahaniyudevaraina manakada ketinchi chelimi bhagavat kadanu cheppu dinamu. When a great person comes and talks about the glory of Sai, the only story is the glory of Sai, the only glory is the story of Sai, the only story is the glory of Sai. That day is a day. Atti dinamune dinamuga bhavinchu. Think that is the day as a real day. Takkina dinamulaniyu taddinamule. All the rest of the days are mourning days, taddinas. When you remember the dead ones, and you have a food, it's a mourning day. Intakantanu vereddi eruka poratu sadhu sadguna gandilau sabhyula. Bhattula నాదుడాయనుచు చెవులకి పుడలుకి చేయుదినము దీనుల రతలల్ని ప్రీతితో తొలగించి అన్నదముల మాట్టినున్న దినము మహనీయుడెవరైనా మన కడకే తెంచి చెలిమి భగవత్ కథలు చెప్పు దినము దైవ చింతన చేయు దాస బృందములకు ప్రీతి మృష్టాన్నము పెట్టు దినము అట్టి దినమునే దినముగా భావించు తక్కిన దినములన్నీయు తద్దినములే ఇంతకన్నను వేరెద్ది ఎరుగపరతు సాధు సద్గుణగణ్యులౌ సభ్యులా भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद भजो रे राम गोविंद हरि 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 राम गोविंद भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद जप तप साधन कछ नहीं लागत जप तप साधन कछ नहीं लागत जप तप साधन कछ नहीं लागत जप तप खर्चत भटक गई राम गोविंद भजो रे भैया राम कहत कबीरा Krishna Govinda Janardana Achyuta Paramananda Rama 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 Krishna Govinda Janardana Achyuta Paramananda Krishna Govinda Janardana Achyuta Paramananda that if your face doesn't show the name of Rama, that face is a castor oil face, in Swami's words. When the eyes don't say the Ramanam, when the ears don't hear the Ramanam, when your face doesn't reflect the Ramanam, that face is a castor oil face, negative face. The one who is constantly singing the name of the God inside and outside. Haath mein kaam, dil mein. Haath mein kaam, dil mein ram. This is what is the most important aspect. It doesn't mean you sit in a corner and you keep saying Ram, 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 but don't work and don't love, don't serve. That is not. Body has to be in action. So when we are thinking about the coming back to the importance of the Guru Purnima, filling the divine in our mind with full potential, this is the purpose of Guru Purnima. Filling the mind with divine consciousness is Guru Purnima. If we don't fill that mind with the divine consciousness, because the moon is nothing but, moon has no effulgence by itself, isn't it? Moon has absolutely, it's not the effulgent object. Where is the moon getting the effulgence? From the sun. And who is this sun? The sun is the one, the Jnana Bhaskara, the divine effulgence. When the divine effulgence is filling our mind, that's how the mind gets the effulgence. But here is a very important thing. Why is Guru Purnima? In fact, there are in the context of Guru Purnima, the moon is the one that is important for Purnima, isn't it? The moon is important for Purnima and not the sun, isn't it? How many sun celebrations we do? Everything is revolving around the moon only. In fact, when the moon is lowest form, it is Amavasya, that is Masa Shivaratri. Shivaratri is no moon. Purnima is full moon. We are celebrating only moon related things, but not sun related things. Because the divine effulgence, as much as we want to think, is incomprehensible. The only thing you can relate to the divine is through the mind. The mind is the one that gives the experience. And here is what Bhagawan gives very beautifully, the metaphor about the moon aspect of it. We say, Vakartunda Mahakaya, Koti Surya Samaprabha. Koti Surya Samaprabha. Has anybody experienced Koti Surya? Hello. One Surya in New Jersey right now outside with the humidity is very difficult to bear. How can you think about Koti Surya? Koti Surya is 10 million suns. Effulgence of 10 million suns, is it even possible to bear? One sun effulgence you can bear. So as much as the divine effulgence you say is Koti Surya Samaprabha, it is impossible to bear that effulgence. But if the moon is shining fully, the moonlight, nobody complains about moonlight. Please raise your hand. Who complains about moonlight? When it is hot, we complain. Nobody complains about, oh, it's very hot moons are today. The full the moon, the better it is, the excellent enjoyment is there. And we celebrate the Purnima. When we are actually, the moon aspect of it is related to our mind. In fact, the waning and the waxing of the moon is related to what? It's about the shadow of the earth falling on the moon. Nothing else, isn't it? When the shadow of our body consciousness, which is the earth, symbolic of the earth, when we are indulged in body consciousness, then the moon has no light on it. Is completely shadowed by body consciousness. As you decrease this body consciousness and as the divine effulgence shines, when there is no shadow of the earth and when the sun is fully reflecting on the moon, that is Guru Purnima. When there is no body consciousness and when you are only connected to the divine consciousness, that is Guru Purnima. I was asking Swami once, what does the word Guru mean? And most of you have heard the meaning of the word Guru. Right? Guru means the one who destroys darkness. The one who destroys darkness or one who removes And what is the ignorance related to? Only mind. The ignorance of ours is related to two things. The first is the body, the second is the mind. Because we are constantly only thinking about these two things, isn't it? Body and the mind. Now, when we look at what the Guru's aspect, how does he remove this ignorance? That was the question that I asked Swami. How do we really move away from this ignorance? Swami said 3 words. Guri, Guru, Giri. Guri, Guru, Giri. Now you understood the Telugu people will understand these 3 words. Guri means target, lakshya, destination. Guru means, Swami said, the one who points you to that destination. That's all he does. Hello. He doesn't do anything else. He's just the Google map. Take this exit. That's all he said. You have to take the exit to go to the destination. Right. The board won't say exit number 19 won't take you to some place else, right? Exit 19 only tells you take this exit to go somewhere else. But we are thinking the Guru is the one that is just pointing the destination. Giri means what? Hill. Yeah. Giri, please enable me a little more. Yeah. Thank you. Guru, Giri means the wisdom, the ultimate, the summit. Hill, you say. It is symbolically, it is associated with reaching the summit of knowledge, the highest point of wisdom. Now, when we ask this question about how does the Guru do that? What is the way how the Guru demonstrates this? For that, there is a beautiful bhajan that we all sing. Today is going to be just Mohan Rahul, looks like. Sri Ram Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane Sai Ram Varanane Sri Ram Charanam Sri Ram Charanam Sri Ram Charanam Bhaje Sri Ram Charanam 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 Sri Ram चंद्रचूड़ की पवन सुत हनुमान की श्रीश्वर साईनाथ की भक्तिपुरी साईनाथ की. The essence of the entire Guru Tattva, how he does it is summarized in this bhajan. When we are singing these bhajans, if our mind takes us inside into these bhajans, in fact the essence of entire Guru Tattva is in one bhajan, Manasa Bhajre Guru Charan. If I go into that again, it's a long next satsang, but today we will stick to Sri Rama Charanam Bhaje. Sri Rama Charanam Bhaje. What is saying is the very first thing about is Sri Rama Charanam Bhaje. Oh mind, get stuck to the feet of Sri Rama. Follow the feet of Sri Rama. What it means is get stuck to the feet of Sri Rama is to follow the feet of Sri Rama. Follow the path of Sri Rama. The path of Sri Rama, when you translate into English, it becomes Ramayanam. Ayanam means path. Rama's path is Ramayanam. That is the translation of the word Ramayanam is Rama's path. Sri Rama Charanam Bhaje. Follow the footsteps of Sri Rama. And who is this Sri Rama? Sri Rama doesn't mean actually a big guy who is blue in color holding some very powerful bow and arrow, the kodanda and the arrow. Rama in Sanskrit actually means Ramayatiti Ramaha. The one who attracts is Rama. What is it that attracts us? What is it that attracts anything? What is the one that attracts? Magnet. So Rama actually means magnet, nothing more than that. Ramayatiti Ramaha. And this magnet of Rama is, what is this magnetism of Sri Rama? The magnetism of Sri Rama, when we are looking at this, is twofold. Vaidehi Ramam, Vaikuntha Ramam. Vaidehi Ramam means what? Hello, I said this is our satsang. Question answer session. Vaidehi Ramam means? Sita Ram. Vaidehi means? Sita. Exactly. What is the now translation of the word Vaidehi means? The one who is the daughter of Videha. Janaka. Janaka is Videha. Vaidehi means the daughter of Videha. Vaidehi Rama means Sitaram. That's what? Translation, simple translation. Swami said, Vaidehi Rama means not that Ra. There is an inner meaning of that word Vaidehi. Deha means? Dehi means? The one who is in the body. Dehamu pancha bhautikamu. Dehamu kulaka tappadeppudu. Dehi niramayundu. Ganutimpaka dehi ki chavu puttukala mohani bandhanala mudralu levu. Focus on the dehi, not on the deha. Deha means body. Dehi means indweller. The one who is constantly inquiring about dehi. Why dehi? W-H-Y. Why dehi? Why dehi means the one who is focused on the Dehi, not on the Deha. Vaidehi Rama means the one who is beyond the body. Vaikuntha Rama means? What's Vaikuntha? Heaven. Who knows? If you have gone there, you have come back and told us anyway. Do we know the zip code? 95835. That's my zip code. That's Vaikuntha's zip code. Huh? What is Vaikuntha? When we ask the questions like this, I will tell you, this is actually invoking the divine consciousness of Bhagawan Sai SatSang. He is right there and he will give the infinite, the fountain of knowledge and wisdom, ready to give and to serve and to love. That is what Swami is. Vaikuntha Rama means, Kuntham means constriction. Vaikuntha means no constriction. What is it that causes constriction? Our mind. Vaikuntha means the one who is beyond the constriction of the mind. Broad-minded person is in Vaikuntha. Narrow-minded person is a Shuntha. He is always in Kuntha and he is always in the hell. Kuntha is Shuntha. Shuntha in Telugu means foolish fellow. The one who is always kunta, constricted, always about me, myself, my little family, my community, my village, all this constriction. When you go beyond the constriction of identity associated with yourself, then you are in Vaikuntha, because you are not thinking about yourself. You are constantly thinking broadly to incorporate and to elaborate and to expand. Expansion is my life, is what Bhagawan said. My life is my message. What is that message? Expansion is my life. I am always expanding. I am never constricting. The one who is not constricted is the one who is in Vaikuntha. Is it too much philosophy for all of us? Is it philosophical? Yes, no? No, Indians are very funny. They don't say like this. When you say like this, I don't know whether you're saying yes or no. Huh? They shake their head like this. Are we saying yes or no? Yes, it's too philosophical, isn't it? No. Brothers and sisters, even the words that we use in English have incredible spiritual meaning to them. One time in a satsang, an uncle came to me in Toronto after a satsang and he said, "But Sekhar ji, nobody in this world is happy." I said, "Very beautiful, uncle. What you said is very beautiful." And then he looked at me and he said, he was confused why I was saying that. I said, "Uncle, please say it again, one more time. Nobody in this world is happy," he said. I said, "Beautiful, uncle. Say it one more time." And he was really confused. And what is this fellow doing to it? I said, "Uncle, wait. Say it 3 more times. You are saying a Maha Mantra." And he said, "Maha Mantra? What are you talking about?" I said, "Say it one more time." I said, "Nobody in this world is happy." I said, "Exactly, uncle. If you are nobody, you will always be happy. If you are somebody, you will be very unhappy." Nobody in this world is happy. Somebody, unhappy. Father body, unhappy. Mother body, unhappy. Husband body, very, very unhappy. Sorry, sisters. There are only 2 types of people in this world: happy people and married people. So that's the saying. So when you are somebody, you are always suffering from unhappiness. When you really think, "Hey, I am really nobody," not nobody, no body. I am not the body. That means what? Expansion consciousness. You are no longer constricted. You are abundant. You are infinite. You have the incredible potential. Why? Dehi Ramam, the one who is beyond the body. Why Kuntharamam? Nothing. You are nobody, nothing. The Guru comes to demonstrate this as Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, meticulously, incredibly. He will show it to you. You are nobody, nothing, right there and done. Ego pops up. You are nobody, nothing. How beautifully he manifests that. Every one of us know. This is what the Guru is teaching all the time. Hey, no, you are not the body. You are not the mind. Stop thinking, getting attention to this body. Stop thinking, getting attention to your mind. Stop paying attention to yourself all the time. Then what happens? You are sitting there, he will ignore you like even he has ignored not even a fly like that. You understand? That is what he is showing. Your body is not important. Your ego is destroyed. Ego comes, he goes. Nobody, nothing. Vaidehi Ramam, Vaikuntha Ramam. If you are not the body and if you are not the mind, what is remaining? Bhupala Chudamani. If you are not the body, if you are not the mind, what is remaining is what? Bhupala Chudamani. The jewel is, the most precious jewel is what is remaining. You are the most precious jewel. What is that most precious jewel? That most precious jewel is the jewel in the lotus of your own heart. That is what you need to be connecting to. Go beyond the body, go beyond the mind. Mind takes you inside. Now as the mind goes inside, it dissolves, it dissolves, it dissolves, it liberates, it gives away all the kinds of identities associated, not with this body, so many different identities. all the different identities we have created ourselves, all those identities are destroyed. Then what remains? Bhupala Chudamani. This is what Gautama Buddha described as today's Guru Purnima. Actually, there are 4 Guru Purnimas throughout the year, brothers and sisters. This particular Guru Purnima is Vyasa Purnima. Then there is the one before this that came, Vaishaka Purnima, that is Buddha's birthday, that is another Guru Purnima. There is another Guru Purnima that comes in Kartik Mas, which is the Kartik Purnima, that is Guru Nanak's birthday, that is another Guru Purnima. And the Guru Purnima after that is the Margasira Purnima, is the Dattatreya Purnima, Sripada, Sri Vallabha's birthday. 4 different Purnimas, and these 4 different Purnimas are worshipped as Guru Purnimas. Now what happens is, the human mind always keeps falling to a lower consciousness. In order for it to keep at a higher consciousness, every month there are several festivals like this. It's just like leaving that sheet of glass. If you leave it for a few days, there is dust accumulated on it. You got to come and clean it. If you are in Delhi, you don't even have to wait for a day. In a few hours you will have the suit on that. Then what happens? You have to come and keep cleaning this glass, isn't it? Otherwise you will not be able to see properly. Similarly, our mind is constantly dusted and rusted with all the kinds of things, aggregation. Therefore, you have to have anushtana to clean it every day. And that is what is called Sandhya Vandanam according to the scriptures. You have to do it every day. No, every day is not possible. At least every 15 days you will do. Therefore they gave Masa Shivaratri and Purnima. They said 15 days not possible. Every month there is some festival or the other. At least the fellow will remember God on that day. Now what happened? Not only God, they forgot father, mother and even wife. So therefore they created Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, all these days. That's how incredible the human being has become. In fact, that is how atrocious we have become, is that we have to have only one day, Father's Day. One day, Mother's, rest of the time, they are in a, what? Nursing home. Now, I'm not talking about you outside of this room only. You are all very divine souls. So, the context of what we are talking as Bhupala Chudamani means, I was remembering Buddha's quote here, that's why the Buddha Purnima came into existence. The Buddha Purnima is, Buddha is the one that is the enlightened one. The enlightened one is enlightened about what? Enlightened beyond the body and the mind. Many of us suffer. Many of us remember doctors only when we suffer. And many of us see the suffering, but nobody asks the question, why is it that we do suffer? The one that asked the question and found the answer to that, he is the enlightened one and he is the Buddha. The rest are Buddhus. There are 4 words Swami gave in last Buddha Purnima. I was in Vancouver for a satsang. And that Saturday, May 24th, was Buddha Purnima this year. So the night before, Swami came in the dream and he said 4 words. He said, Buddhu, Buddha, Buddhi, Buddha. Buddhu means Khana Pina Sona Marna is Buddhu. Many are born like that and they become Buddhas and they die. Buddha means old guy. Now very few people apply the next category called Buddhi, intellect. And the one who actually applies the intellect, what's the difference between Buddhi and Buddha, Arya? There you go. You got it, buddy. See now, he is perfected now. Buddhi and Buddha, the only difference is I and A. The one who uses intellect for himself uses Buddhi. The one who uses the intellect for fundamental discrimination, Atmic discrimination, A, is Buddha. The one who applies intellect for individual discrimination is Buddhi. Several people have Buddhi, but they apply it for themselves. How can I be rich? How can I be happy? How can I be this? How can I be that? But Buddha did not ask that. Buddha said, how can everybody be happy? How can there be peace and prosperity and ahimsa across the humanity? And hence he is called Buddha. How did Buddhi turn into Buddha? It is when the mind and the intellect are focused inside. they go inside. That's what Buddha did. He started asking fundamental discrimination questions. He's the greatest scientist that the humanity has actually experienced. A scientist, because he challenged the status quo. He said, forget all these rituals, forget all these Vedas, forget all this stuff. These people, they're doing all these things only mechanically, process orientation. They have no clue what they're chanting. They have no clue what they're doing. They're caught up in the Maya of ritual and forgot there is one word important before that, spirit. And when you combine the spirit with the ritual, it becomes spiritual. If you simply do ritual, it is ritual. We are caught up in the ritual, but we forgot there is spirit attached to this ritual. When we don't connect to that spirit behind the ritual, we are simply doing this day in and day out mechanically. It doesn't serve any purpose of going to the higher world. This is what Buddha said. He went and he inquired everybody, why do people suffer? Why do people suffer? Why do people suffer? Nobody gave him a convincing answer. They are all caught up in what? Doing yajnas, yagas, killing animals. That was the time of Buddha. That's exactly what was happening. And he said, no, this is all nonsense process. They're all focused on outside. They're not focused on inside. He focused on inside. Everybody is doing on internet. Buddha went on internet. And when he went inside, what did he experience? He experienced that there is a jewel in the lotus of his own heart. And that is what he referred to as Om Mani Padme Hum. Jewel in the lotus of the heart. And when he got back the answer is Padma Koshak Pratikashagum Hridayanchapyadho Mukham Atho Nishchavitastyante Nabhyamuparitishthate Jwalamala Kulam Bhati Vishwasyayatanam Maghat. That is Om Mani Padme Hum. Padma Koshak Pratikasagam Hridayanchapyadho Mukham. Right below the lotus of your heart, there is a jewel. And that jewel is the jewel that is found in every being. And in the center of this jewel, there is this electric spark. That electric spark is the spark of divinity that Krishna, the Jagat Guru, said, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. My spark of divinity is within every single being, and that is the spark you need to connect to. This is the essence of Guru Tattva, Guru Purnima. Bhupala Chudamani. You connect to the jewel in the center of our heart. Then what happens? Bhupala Chudamani. And who is that jewel? Atma Bhiramam Prabhu Sai Ramam. Sri Ramacharanam Bhaje. The jewel we are talking about, if you want to give that a name, you can call that your Atma. And let me tell you, that Atma is nothing but Sai Rama. Why is the Atma referred to as Sai Rama? You have to ask these questions, right? Hello. You cannot simply, because I'm a PhD in biochemistry, I'm a scientist by training, I cannot accept somebody says, oh, do this. You got to ask the question, why we have to do this? What is the purpose behind this? Not because paralysis analysis, with a genuine intention to learn and to inquire. This is what the Guru forces you to do. He is like a coach. He wants you to realize your potential more and more and more again, brothers and sisters, because that is all what a coach does. When Michael Jordan is playing basketball, who is his Guru? Who is his Guru? Hey, come on. This is not a trick question. Phil Jackson, yeah. Do you think Phil Jackson, every time Michael Jordan steps out, Phil Jackson says, hey, very good, you scored 15 points today, excellent. Does he say that? Yes or no? No. What does he say? He said, how come you didn't score 50 points, not 15 points? And what does the coach do? He will tell you how many times you missed scoring a point, not how many times you scored a point. Similarly, the Guru, the glory of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba as a Guru is that when you sign him up as the coach, He will tell how many points you have missed scoring in the game of life. So every time you step out, he's saying, son, you didn't think properly here. You didn't act properly here. You could have done better. You could have done even much more. How come you are not only stopping at this point? You have to go beyond this point, beyond this point. This is what the Guru is doing. What is the Guru doing? He is destroying ignorance. Means what? If you take a boulder and if you take away what doesn't belong to the boulder, it becomes a beautiful statue. A statue is embedded in a boulder. So when a sculptor comes and he makes a statue out of the boulder, he doesn't put anything new. He takes away what doesn't belong to the boulder. Therefore it becomes a beautiful statue. If we remain as the boulder and we do not let him chisel away what doesn't belong to us, we will remain as boulders and we will be the boulders. We got to become the Shilpas in the beautiful hands of the Shilpi, Bhagawan Sathya. And hence what he does is, as a coach, he tells, you did not score right here, you did not think right here, you have to become better. And therefore the essence of the Guru Tattva is Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Sevaya Upadechyanti De Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadarshinaha. We all know this sloka from Bhagavad Gita. It is explained, elaborated in Satcharitra. How Baba has given a beautiful interpretation to this incredible sloka. The essence of Guru Tattva again. The essence of Guru Tattva is Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Sevaya. Tadvidhi, doing your own duties. The one who does. Pranipatena. You know the story about, how many of you know the story in Satcharitra about this? Yes? Yeah. Brother, who wants to explain what Baba said? Seriously, yeah. That Sanskrit scholar, what's his name? Nana Chandrakar, no, Hemat. Nana Sahib Chandrakar. When he was chanting Bhagavad Gita, Baba was asking, Arey, what are you chanting? I say, he thought he's a fakir. He doesn't understand what he's chanting, Sanskrit and all. He said, Baba, I am chanting Bhagavad Gita. Oh, really? Can you please chant loud? I also want to listen. And at that point he was chanting this sloka, Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Sevaya Upadechyanti Te Jnanam Jnanina Tattvadarshinaha. So Baba asked the question, oh, I don't know Sanskrit that much. Can you please explain the meaning of this sloka? And then he started telling the meaning of the sloka. Oh Baba, what that means is the one who does his duty and prostrates and does service to their Guru, the Guru will destroy the ignorance and he will put them on the right path. This is what the translation he gave. Oh, no, not like that. No, please explain every word and meaning of the word. That's what Baba asked him. See, this is what the Guru does. Oh, simply don't sing a bhajan. Understand every single word of the bhajan that you are singing. And then what happens? You are really offering a bhajan. Otherwise what you are doing? You are simply singing a bhajan. You are not connecting to the words that we are singing. Bhavani, when you say, what is Bhavani? What does that word Bhavani mean? Durga, what does that word Durga mean? What does that word Sai mean? What are all these words meaning to us for our own elevation of our spiritual consciousness? When we do not put that effort, we are simply singing bhajan. But when we use the bhajan as a tool to elevate ourselves, see, Baba is now using this shloka to give utmost spiritual jnana to Nana Sahib Chandrakar at that point. Then he said, Tadvidhi, doing the duty. Pranipatena. So Baba asked, Pranipatena. Patam means prostration. Then Baba asked, what is Pranipatam? You translated it as prostration. Krishna did not say Tadvidhi Patena. He said Pranipatena. What is the reason why Krishna used the word Pranipatena? Pranipata means not simply falling with all your organs in front of God. Pranipata means complete surrender to the God. Tadvidhi Pranipatena. The one who is doing their duty with complete surrender to the God. Not ordinarily doing it. Doing their duty but yet with complete surrender to. See, there is a paradox there. Doing your duty, but surrendering and doing the duty. Now, while doing the duty, prashna means enquiry. What are the prashnas that we ask? Swami says very beautifully, who are you? What is your name? Where did you come from? Where do you live? How much mortgage? What kind of stocks and bonds? How many saris? No, you don't ask that question. But what? That is enquiry. That is prashna. Pariprashna means enquiry. Asking questions about self-enquiry. So while doing the duty with complete surrender, the one who is indulged in Atma Vichara, self-enquiry, that is the one that he is talking about, Pariprasnena. And how is he asking this Pariprasnena? Not going and sitting in front of the Guru to demonstrate the knowledge of the Sishya. You see, people ask the questions also. Some people actually completely answer their own question and ask the question. And when you ask them, they are talking for 5 minutes and, okay, what's the point, boss? What is the question? They want to give a discourse, not ask a question. So they are asking all this and then finally to show off their own knowledge or to test the Guru, whether the Guru knows the answer or not. These are the kind of questions people ask. But what Baba is saying is, Pariprashna means not that. With complete, honest self-enquiry. And how are they doing it? Sevaya, while doing service to the Guru. Then what happened? Then the Guru, after he is doing this, the disciple is doing this, at some point the Guru will say, Upadeshyanti te jnanam. Nana Sahib Chandorkar translated it as, the Guru gives knowledge. But Baba said, no, that's not the correct translation. Upadeshyanti te ajnanam. He tells you what you are not. He doesn't tell you who you are. This is the very intricate point, isn't it? The Guru tells you who you are not, and that is the actual jnana. Upadeshyanti te ajnanam. Then what happens? Then you get the real knowledge, tattva darshinaha. You are able to see tattvamasi. He and I are one. Now when we go back to this bhajan that I was singing, Atma Viramam Prabhu Sai Ramam. How is this Atma related to Sai? S-A-I. I will tell you. Entire scripture's knowledge is actually embedded in these three letters. Not only the end, but the means to an end is described in Sai Baba. I already described what Baba meant, isn't it? In the very beginning. B-A-B-A. Being, awareness, bliss, absolute. That is the destination. S-A-I is a means to reach that destination. S-A-I is a means to reach B-A-B-A. And in order to go from this S-A-I to B-A-B-A, S is service, A is adoration, I is illumination. And we talked about three components, brothers and sisters. The three components are B, M, I. Body, mind, intellect. These are three upadhis, instruments given to us by God. And just a metaphor to understand what this is. I think you must have already attended SatSang before, must have already connected to this. So, how many pins are there? 3 pins. And how many holes are there? 3, yes. How many holes? 3 pins, 3 holes. Can you connect this mic? Imagine this is you. And this is where the current is coming from. Isn't it? The current is in this. There is no current in this because this cannot amplify. You need these two to be connected for the voice to be amplified. So, when you look at these 3 pins and these 3 holes, you can't connect like this, you can't connect like this, you can't connect like this. You have to align the 3 pins and the 3 holes, and when you connect like that, then the voice is amplified. The 3 pins here, body, mind, intellect. The 3 holes here, service, adoration, illumination. When you connect the body, mind, intellect with service, adoration, illumination, then your divine voice is amplified. Now what is this connection? Very simple. Body, Swami says, bend the body, which is service. Mend the mind, which is what? Adoration. Mend the senses. And the mind, that is illumination. When you bend the body, it is service. When you mend the senses, it is adoration. Adoration, worship. We all think worship means make God a picture or a statue and throw a bunch of stuff on him. That is worship. And Kesavana, Narayana, Govinda, Vishnu. What the God is saying, come on man, take it easy. Hitting me with flowers. Left, right and center. And you are pouring all this stuff. I can't even breathe properly. And sometimes you're singing so awfully, I'm saying, please stop, and you're thinking I'm blessing. I'm saying, stop. And I'm really frustrated, please stop. I'm just kidding. Swami is always blessing. He doesn't judge people. He's complete love. He doesn't find faults. He only corrects. So, the context of saying body, mind, intellect has to be connected to bend the body, service. Mend the senses, because the mind is always following the senses. If you let the senses go wherever they want, the mind simply follows the sense. Therefore, what you have to do is not control the mind, control the sense. Mend the sense. Mend the sense to go inside, not outside. Then the mind goes inside. Then when it goes inside, end the mind, that is illumination. This three is service, adoration, illumination is nothing but karma, bhakti, jnana margas. And these three are actually embedded in one word, SAI. Service, adoration, illumination. When we actually put the body, the mind and the intellect towards service, adoration, illumination, then what happens? We realize the full potential of Sat Chit Ananda, Satchidananda, Kanda, absolute. In order to do that, when we are doing that, we have to put apart I, put apart I. Puttaparthi is not a place. Put apart I. Put apart I. When the body is in service, the mind is indulged in adoration and the intellect is in illumination. Then what do we have? We are putting apart this I. We are keeping our selfishness aside. Now we are fully going to be in peace, and that peace is Prashant Nilayam. There you will see BA through SAI. Prabhu Sai Rama means SAI, same as I. SAI, so am I. So hum. Atma Bhiramam, Prabhu Sai Ramam, Sri Rama Charanam Bhaje. This is the essence of Guru Tattva. This is the essence of Sai Tattva. Sai is nothing but the supreme. So am I. Same as I. So hum. And when we are connecting to this, there are role models or examples that he actually has come, and he is nothing but just demonstrating a role model, isn't it? Guru is nothing but a role model. Now he has to demonstrate the same for people to emulate, not imitate, emulate. Okay? You cannot imitate God. You have to only emulate. If you understand the difference between what I am saying. Imitate is different from emulate. Emulate the essence of what he has demonstrated in the life. And the only person that has done this, according to me, is only Hanuman. This SAI, the essence of SAI is Hanuman, according to Baba, not according to me. Because Baba said, when Hanuman was given this beautiful necklace, right? You all know the story about that. He demonstrates, he takes away piece by piece each of these pearls because he is not able to hear what? Ramanam. That Ramanam, when he is not able to hear, he doesn't want to connect to anything that doesn't say Ramanam. Sita is asking, oh really? Then he plucks his hair and he puts at her ear. And what is this saying? Ram, 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 Ram. So this body is suffused with the name of Sri Rama. Every single cell is constantly saying the name of Sri Rama. But yet, he is so devoted. Why is epitome of devotion? I mean, out of all the things, he chose a monkey to be his greatest devotee, isn't it? How can a monkey be the monkey? Its quality of the monkey is to be constantly perverted. It can't stay at one place. It can't be at one place. And so he demonstrates absolute wisdom through this greatest bhakta of his, who is a Hanuman. And the devotion of Hanuman is so supreme. Swami says in a book called Atmaramam, very beautiful example about Hanuman's devotion. Mother Sita was wearing this kumkum, sindoor. And Hanuman asked, why do you put this stuff here? And then Amma says, that is a symbol of my devotion towards Sri Rama, my husband. Then what does he do? He runs into the puja room, he puts the sindoor on his entire body. He said, if putting sindoor here is devotion, then the whole body should be devoted. And that's why when you see Hanuman, the whole body is sindoor only. That is the level of, see, it is simple, that innocent, that blind, absolutely, they call it blind, but it is completely illumined wisdom of Hanuman. Now let's sing the name of Hanuman. Yatra yatra raghunatha kirtanam tatra tatra krutamastakāñjalim bāshpavari paripurna lochanam marutim namatarakshasantakam manojam Marutatulyavegam Jitendriyam buddhimatam varishtam Vadatmajam vanarayodhamukyam Sri Ramanutam Sirasa Namami Sri Ramanutam 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 Bhagata Kundara Kandi Madhikata Visham Sri Ramanutam Bhagata Kundara Kandi Madhikata Visham Arunodaya Ruchira Nanda Chaturam Sanna Pingala Bhasarane Prajugadam Navamani Samaya Namadhya Bhagam Sri Rama Pada Satavandaram Sri Rama Dasa Mukham Bhaja Dasashata Bhanum Dasa Mukham Bhaja Dasashata Bhanum Sri Kakulesha Satavandaram Rama Pada Sruti Satavandaram Sri Rama Sutam Sai Rama Pada Satavandaram Sri Rama Sutam Sri Rama Sutam Hare Rama, 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 Hare
We have few more minutes left. I'm supposed to stop at, where is the... Oh, 12:45. వీళ్ళందరికీ ఆకలి వస్తుంది సార్. Okay. So, 12:45. Okay. So I was thinking I was stopping at 12 o'clock, so I want to be respectful of people's time, that's why I was asking. So, the context of the Guru Tattva we have examined today, brothers and sisters, the glory of what Guru is, what the avatar of the Guru is supposed to be. It's only to emulate and to demonstrate role modelship in character and in behavior to the society. So when we look at what the essence of Bhagawan says, 4 beautiful sentences. The end of education is character. The end of culture is perfection. The end of knowledge is freedom. And the end of wisdom is love. Just analyze those 4 sentences. We got the essence of the entire culture, the scriptures, everything is condensed in 4 things. Every beautiful saying by him is, you don't need to go look at any great Vedanta or anything like that. The end of education is character. When we actually examine that, how we get educated is what defines our character. Now, I asked Swami this question recently. In fact, the Sathya school opening, the entire program that we did for 2.5 hours is the end of education is character. What does it actually mean, the end of education is character? Education today means only starts with 4 letters. I think I explained this in the Bridgewater Sai Center last month. Education starts with 4 letters, A, B, C, D. Isn't it? A, B, C, D. And when we go to school and we learn A, B, C, D, everybody learns A, B, C, D the same way only. A for apple, B for boy, C for cat, D for dog. Do we learn anything different? No. So now you see, what we learn when we are little kids is what defines us later on. A for apple, iPhone, iPad, iPod, everything I only. It's I. A for apple. B for boy means creating our own good old boy networks. Running in the life like cats and dogs. That's all we become. This is what Swami told me, because I wrote an article on the end of education is character for Sai newsletter for the SSC children. So I was contemplating on this thing, and Swami asked the question. He said very beautifully, how the character is defined. He gave a formula. Instincts impel, impulses ideate, ideas act, actions habituate, habits become character. So the building of the character is based on the instinct. Now, do we know what even an instinct is? First of all, many of us don't know what our actions are. We act and we think. Not we think and act, isn't it? Yeah? 90% of the people, including myself, we all act and then say, how come I acted like that? How come I didn't think and act like that, right? So, instincts are the ones that are actually creating the impulses, and the impulses are the ones that are giving the thoughts, and it is those thoughts that are becoming the actions, and it is the actions that are becoming the habits, and the habits is what define the character. So when we look at what character is, it is our instinct that we are programmed with is defining character. Do we have any idea? How to look at that, how incredible that whole thing he has given is. That's why he said watch, W-A-T-C-H. Watch your words, your actions, your thoughts, character, heart. So when we are talking about what this character is, I asked Swami, come on, we have to learn ABCD in life, no Swami. He said, Nora, the education actually starts with what? A. A is aham, atma, idam, ishvaraha. Aham, atma, idam, ishvaraha is the way the education should start. Instead, we start with ABCD. Okay, be that may. Now then what he was saying is, the character of the individual is molded based on programming our instincts. How these instincts are even programmed within us? The instincts are something that are coming from our Purva Janma, the vasanas,
How do we actually even understand that? Then he is saying it's only through imbibing the 5 human values that you can control these instincts. Nothing, no other way, no easy way, no formula. The formula is, and then I said, Swami, what does that mean? What does that mean, 5 human values? How can we translate the human values into action? Then he used, you have to have 5 L's to become a leader. The 5 L's are the 5 values. The first L is live. Second L is learn. Third L is listen. Fourth love is to love. The fourth L is to love. And then the fifth one is to laugh. 5 L's, if we practice, then we become a leader with a great character. And he said, take every character, they emulate these 5 L's. They live now, here and now. What was that Kung Fu master? Last night I was watching a movie with Siddharth. That Kung Fu master, he says, tomorrow is mystery. Yesterday is misery. Today is the gift. Right? Yesterday is a misery. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the gift. Live it now. Live here and now. That is truth. And while you are living, if you learn how to live better, that is dharma, that is right conduct. Then in the context of living and learning, if you are able to listen to others, that is peace. Because if you are not in peace, you can't listen to the other person, right? Because you are thinking about something, how can you listen to the other person? You have to first calm down your own stuff in order to listen to the other person. Therefore, peace is to listen. The next one is to love. And I asked Swami, what is love? Then he said, live, love. 2 words. I and O is the difference. Arya, I didn't ask you this time. Yeah. Okay. Now, I and O is the difference between live and love. If your life is all about I, then it is live. If your life is about O, others, then it is love. So when we actually, life is about others, then automatically you are loving. That's why Bhagavan is nothing about himself. All the time, incredible, is about others, 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 others. So, in the context of the love, which is living for others, then what you have is finally the laugh. Laugh at every moment. Don't be a castor oil face. Nothing so serious in life. Laugh. Be happy. That's what he said. Bhagavan did not say any other Maha Mantra. Be happy. Like I said, nobody in this world is happy. Maha Mantra. This is another Maha Mantra. Be happy. Be happy doesn't mean that happiness is a strategy. You have to go after it. You have to have a team meeting, form a committee to figure out how to get a happiness. And then he said very beautifully, committee means coming for tea. While you form a committee, you want to have tea with others. Committee. And then they come for tea. And then they talk about strategy. How about strategizing this agenda, strategy, all this Maya we create for us. He said, hey, sab chhod do yaar. Be happy. Be happy doesn't mean happiness is somewhere else. Be happy means you first be, then happiness comes. First be, then happiness comes. I think I shared a story with Swami Chinmayananda that tells a very beautiful story. He talks about a little kitten, a little cat. It was going around circles trying to chase its own tail. You know how they go like that, right? And then chasing its own tail. So the mother came home and said, hey, Kutti, is a kitten, what are you doing, da? Well, the kitten said, oh mother, the teacher told me in the class that happiness is in the tail and I'm going after it. And the mother looked at this little cat and she said, oh no, Kutti, my teacher also told me the same thing. I started walking straight and now happiness follows me. So walk straight. Walk straight. Don't think about, be yourself is what he's saying. First be, then what happens? Happiness comes. If you're not be, then there is no happiness. The B-E-E, bee, is to go inside the lotus to get the honey. That is what a bee does. And therefore, be with yourself, be in yourself, not be of yourself. Don't be of yourself. Don't be in yourself and be yourself, not be of yourself. then what happens is automatically the Ananda is right there and then. Then what you do? You laugh. You can't be laughing and hurting somebody, no? Can you? You can't say that. When you are carrying this fist, so that's why when we say do like this with joy, you open the palms. When you raise slogans, you close your fist. This is closedness, this is openness. Siyapati Ramachandra ki, when you say you are opening, you say Siyapati Ramachandra, you don't say Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai. Don't close the fist, open the fist. Closing fist is raising a slogan. And that is to go after somebody. Don't go after somebody. Swami was asked this question very beautifully. Spardhaya vardhate vidya. There is a beautiful saying. Spardhaya vardhate vidya. It is through competition that you will better yourself, is what it said. Now Swami, I was actually in the veranda when this conversation was going on. And one person was asking Swami, so we have to compete with others to better ourselves. He said, no, that's nonsense. You don't compete with others. You compete with yourself. Then you become better. Today what we are told in the society is you got to go win against anything. The children are taught in the schools to compete only to be better against others. But that is not what that saying is saying. You have to better yourself. When we actually go back and ask the question, am I better than myself compared to yesterday? Am I better than myself compared to what I was 2 hours ago? When that metric is used to compete with your own little I, then the big I starts showing up. And that's what is the 5 L's. And then he said, the 5 L's are the qualities of the greatest leader. And then he also said, a great leader is always a great pleader. The one who prays for others is a pleader. The one who thinks he has to do everything himself is not a leader. And he said one time in the darshan, he uses these beautiful, Swami uses these beautiful simple sentences to convey profound messages. I don't think at any point of time, at least I am not privileged to know Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Zarathustra and all these great characters. But all of them combined together, we have witnessed a greatest avatar that has given very simple, profound messages. Just to very simple, live and serve. Live, love and serve. Live, give and serve. Love, give and serve. Live, love, listen, laugh, learn. 5 values, human values. So, brothers and sisters, I want to open up for any questions or comments that you have, and we'll close the satsang after that. Yes, any questions, comments, or if you want to share something also, brother is here from Bombay, right? And please come, brother. You can also after lunch. Okay. Any questions, comments, please? Yeah. Everything is crystal clear. Very clear, huh? That means give him the microphone.
How would you realize the self or attain God through the control of senses? I mean, we talk about the senses. So if you can just elaborate a little bit more.
So the question, if I understood, is elaborate more on controlling the senses. So I will share with what Swami has given in a beautiful song. You all know this song, right? This D sharp, do it. Shiva 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 Yana Radha Jiva Chintalilla Babu Kona Magarada Shiva 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 Yana Radha Jiva Chintalilla Babu Kona Magarada Shiva Meti Chakamanta Kiri Devu O Chitama Niganta Sikule Avani Swami is saying how to use the karanas, the faculties that are given to us, which are responsible for our senses. There are 5 senses that God has given us that are enabled by 5 tools. The first one is listening. Then Swami is saying, Pottu boka uri vari suddhulanni Miru siddhamaudure kadu shraddha toda Muddu muddu ganu sai mutsatalu cheppu vela Muddikaga nundale chevulara Miru muddikaga nundale chevulara. If it is ready for gossiping about everybody else in this world, you are ready, O ears. You are ready to listen to the gossip. All unlimited timing they have given them. Peak minutes, unpeak minutes. Family plan also they have given them. You can talk all you want on this phone, everything about everybody else. But when somebody is asking you to come to satsang, to talk about the story of Sai and the glory of Sai, the ears don't want to be there. Because it's not something that the ears want to do. So, first, get the ears to listen to the glory of the God, not to the gossip of others. And second, Swami is saying, very beautiful Titanic movie. How many times you want to see? You want to go and see the same Titanic movie. Pani mali sini malu padamalu Milu chani chani kani malu parivirege Chadamunu daiva sannidhi niluvaga Chadamunu daiva sannidhi niluvaga Kanulara kadu kastamauga O kanulara kadu kastamauga. If you want to see Titanic movie or Iron Man 3, you will run and see that movie so many times your eyes are never get tired. Night 11:30 you can still watch the Kung Fu movie and you are still happy. But you have to watch the picture of Sai, the Murti of Sai, the Murti of Shirdi Sai Baba. After a couple of minutes, your eyes are looking around because they can't focus on the Murti. Focus your vision on the Murti of the God, on the divinity himself. Second way to control the sense. Hearing, seeing. And Swami is talking about Aviniti rota matalandalito Ivanutaku gaurava bhayenuga Navanita choruni namamu palukaga Navanita choruni namamu palukaga Nalka avamanam baguna O nalka avamanam baguna. If you want somebody to talk about bad thing about others, ready, jump and use all the foul language. But when it is to sing the name of the God, people feel ashamed. Hello. If you ask children nowadays, I observe this, please sing a bhajan. They say no, they feel very shy. Somehow they feel embarrassed. They can't sing the name of the God. Not only with the children, why blame them? It's the adults that demonstrate that first quality. And if you want to say Jai to God, how many people really say Jai to God? Honestly. They don't want to say Jai, they feel embarrassed. Oh, they think I'm a crazy fellow. I shouldn't be saying Jai to God. But this Jai is something that's an incredible way of expressing our thanks to the divinity. So Swami is saying, if you want to talk foul language, you are ready to jump and talk about foul language. When you have to sing the name of the God, when you have to say Jaikar, you feel embarrassed and you feel ashamed and you can't even sing the name of the God freely, happily. So put the tongue to actually singing the name of the God. Panimali sunakambu vale meeru karugiri aganinchi tirigeru Chadamunu satsangatilo nilvaga Chadamunu satsangatilo nilvaga Sathyamu kada charanamula Niku sathyamu kada charanamula. To go to the mall, we are ready to jump. Oh, these malls in India. Oh my God, the disease has spread to India also now. Every city has these malls. And these fellows are hanging around the malls. And these malls are, this is what in Bombay, even Coimbatore, they said today morning that their malls have opened. And every single town in India. Now here also, the disease is spreading. Now people are hanging around the malls. Come to the satsang, no. They're saying, satsang, what is that? What do you do there? You have some fun? No. We don't have fun there. If you have to sit in a satsang, the feet are not ready. In fact, the back is really hurting. But when we have to do other things, the back doesn't hurt. Huh? So, this Swami's beautiful song is a prescription mantra for how to keep all our avayavas, the upadhis, divert them towards the God. Now he is saying, when God comes in human form and he says, I am God, you think he is an actor. When an actor actually is like, Krishna, N.T. Rama Rao, you worship him as Krishna. You worship an actor as a God. When God says he is God, you think he is an actor. So, the context of the human mind is being so perverted is that the human mind, first of all, lost fundamentally the faith in the divinity that is within themselves. The faith, beyond the senses now I am talking about. Swami actually says in this same beautiful, I don't know when Swami actually gave this to the humanity. In the next one, Swami says, పాటలు పాడిన ఫలమేమి మంచి మాటలు వేచిన మహిమేమి సూటిగా పెద్దల బాటనే పోయిన సుఖముల దొరకునుగా శివ 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 ఎనగాగా శివ చింతలెల్ల బాబు కొన మనరాగా సులువుగా దొరికిన సుందర సాయిని చులకన చేయగ చూడుగా సులువుగా దొరికిన సుందర సాయిని చులకన చేయగ చూడుగా పలు బొమ్మలకే పడి మొక్కిన పలు బొమ్మలకే పడి మొక్కిన భయభక్తులతో బతుకుదువా నీవు భయభక్తులతో బతుకుదువా శివ 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 ఎనరాగా శివాజితల బాబు కొన మనరాగా శివ 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 ఎనరాగా శివ చింతల బాబు కొన మనరాగా ఈ చింతల బాబు కొన మనరాగా ఈ చింతల బాబు కొన మనరాగా సులువుగా దొరికిన సుందర సాయిని చులకన చేయటం పరిపాటైపోయింది. Swami is saying, because he is saying I am God and he is giving himself for the society, you make fun of him, you don't even trust him, you listen to all the gossip in the TVs, you listen to the gossip in the newspapers, and you even question the divinity and his agenda. Why? You trust the goddamn news reporter than you trust God himself. How much we have degraded ourselves to this utmost gossip and not even trusting the divinity. And we think that he is different from everybody else. We are questioning. Now, brothers and sisters, I shouldn't be talking on a stage talking like this in Bhagawan's presence. But people asked me the questions and that's why I'm raising. Oh, they found 12 crores of rupees in Whitefield. Yes, I said yes. They found 12 crores of rupees. Do you know what happened exactly? Why they find the 12 crores of rupees? When God gets envelopes with cash, he doesn't even look at that and he says, please put it inside the birva. For 4 years he has not even gone to Whitefield. And when 4 years, what happened? Millions of devotees come and they just pour money at his feet. He doesn't even care about that. And of course the cash has accumulated. You think God has come here for money? Money is the last and the least of his agendas. His agenda is only one thing and one thing. It is to love and to serve. And he has given the utmost wisdom with simple songs like this. Turn your eyes towards the Murti of God. Turn your ears to the glory of the God. Turn your tongue towards singing the name of the God. Put your head on the feet of the God. Indulge in love all and serve all. That is all he is saying. He's never said, give me money. He said, never give me cash. Never give me donation. Which Sai center here is collecting donations from any member? Go check which Sai center is collecting money from the students for running their SSC classes. Go check other places they collect money to run Balavikas classes, Balavihar classes, all these other kinds of classes. God has made himself available free only to uplift us and to allow us realize our inherent divinity. And to such God we need to dedicate all our faculties. To such God we need to dedicate all our senses, mend the senses and end the mind. So, and this is a beautiful poem that Bhagawan really loves from Bhagavatam. And when these the two gods that were hit, the trees, Krishna goes through these trees, mother ties him up and he rolls over, and these two gods come out of those two trees. And those gods ask the question. They tell Krishna Bhagavan at that time. Nee padyavalulalakinu chevulu ninnaadu vakyambulu nee peranga paricheyu hastayugamul nee murti pai చూపులు నీ పాదముల పంత మొక్కు శిరము నీ సేవపై చిత్తము నీపై బుద్ధులు మాకు కరుణ నీరేజపత్రేక్షణ నీపై బుద్ధులు మాకు నిమ్ము కరుణ నీరేజపత్రేక్షణ నీపై బుద్ధులు మాకు నిమ్ము కరుణ నీరేజపత్రేక్షణ హరినామ కీర్తన కలియుగ సాధన హరినామ కీర్తన కలియుగ సాధన కృష్ణ జనార్దన
This is how you divert yourself to something. When we are actually singing the name of the God, there is no sense that is existing. We forget our common sense and general sense and be indulged in the divine sense. And this is the reason why Nama Sankirtana is the chosen path for greatest sages and the seers. You take any faith, you take any sage and seer, the only thing that they did is singing the name of God. And while they are singing the name of the God, they do service and they love. Because what happens is, the Vyakti is actually given the Shakti. Swami actually gave this beautiful, what he said, hey, to begin with there is Shakti. That's how we started the satsang, the divine Shakti. When the Shakti became patent from latent, it became Vyakti, individualized. And that Vyakti is given some Rakti, passion. And the passion, Rakti, when it is diverted towards the senses, it doesn't make sense. When it is diverted towards the divinity, it becomes Bhakti. When the Bhakti is actually becoming mature and mature, it leads to Virakti, dispassion. And from Virakti comes Mukti, liberation. Shakti, Vyakti, Rakti, Bhakti, Virakti, Mukti. So when we actually take this bhakti, really means controlling all these senses and diverting them towards complete divine consciousness. This is actually bhakti. That's a divine flow. And when we are doing this divine flow of consciousness, what happens? We give God every one of our faculties to Him and ask Him to use them. And when He is using our instruments, they become much more purer and they are put to work because He has no agenda. Hello. Everybody thinks I am doing Swami's work, they say. What I am doing Swami's work? Swami has no work. Why you are doing Swami's? You are not doing Swami's work. You are doing the work so that you will realize the Swami within you. So He is saying you and I are one. But I am infinite potential. You are finite. My goal is to ensure that you tap into the infinite potential which is me inside you. Therefore, you have to do this work. It is not my work. It is actually your work. So you are doing work for yourself, not for me. Hello. Why do I need? Why you think, brothers and sisters? I was so enthralled and so energized to see this Sathya Sai school come up in Toronto. It's incredible. For the past 13 years, this Sathya Sai school in Toronto is #1 school out of 20,000 private schools in Ontario. And they are constructing a huge, massive building now to make it it's a public school. It's a private school that is open to public, right? And so many devotees across the world that Bhagawan has given me the opportunity to transform myself by seeing these devotees, that you get enthralled to see, oh my God, what have they done? That's so incredible, how passionate they are about doing Swami's work everywhere in the world. And when you connect to Bhagavan in that level, operating in that level, then automatically you ask the question, if only that divine being has chosen to leave that Puttaparthi and taken a world tour, imagine what would have happened to the Sathya Sai organization. They could not have even managed all the money that they have flown to Swami. Therefore he said, I don't want to get out of here, because even without him traveling, the Sathya Sai Trust has economy that is even bigger than some of the state governments of India. Imagine if he had traveled out. That is his love and compassion. It's not because he wants to spread about himself. His love and compassion is, he doesn't need to go anywhere. His agenda is not to establish an ashram. His agenda is not to establish a trust. His agenda is not to establish some lineage of Sathya Sai ashram here. His agenda is only one and only one agenda, which is to help us realize our infinite divinity within ourselves. And that is the Supreme Guru, Sadguru, Jagat Guru. There is no guru like that. If you missed the boat already, jump onto the boat right now. And those that are in the boat, make sure that nobody is falling off the boat now. And if somebody has fallen off the boat, give them a hand and pull them back into the boat now. That's what we should be doing right here and now. There is nothing like Sathya Sai Avatar. And I'm not saying that because I'm just a Sai devotee, a crazy, passionate fellow. I'm saying it with genuinely, with my entire heart and soul.
because I don't have physical, personal experiences with Bhagawan. And I keep telling people, and you have heard this before, I am not blessed to be educated in his educational institutions, but I am blessed to be his student here and now and forever and to eternity. And I am blessed. I don't have any experiences to share that Swami materialized vibhuti in my home, nectar flowing out, all that stuff, nothing like that. In fact, there was no miracle that Swami did for me to become his devotee. The agenda is not about me, I'm just sharing it, just so you know. I became Sathya Sai Baba devotee because my daughter went to Sai spiritual education classes in Dallas, Texas. I am one of the many millions of Sathya Sai Baba devotees who didn't have the privilege to be in the physical presence of Bhagavan. I am not the one that is blessed with a lot of rings. The only ring I got from Bhagavan is Igno ring. And I am so grateful to him for giving that Igno ring, because that Igno ring sent me inside, not to seek him outside. And out of his infinite compassion and love, Bhagavan has manifested himself as, I'm sharing this because every one of us have the same experience and the opportunity. Seek Swami inside. See always inside, S-A-I. Seek always inside, S-A-I. This is the essence of Guru Tattva. I'm sorry you asked a simple question and I got carried away. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Brothers, sisters? No? Nandita, no questions? You are usually full of questions. Huh? She's full of energy and she says she chants Rudram. She's very beautiful, Swami's child. Huh? They came from Atlanta. Not for this satsang, but for some other thing. Yes, any questions, sisters? Yes, brother. Sai Ram, brother.
I'm not sure how my question will impact. In India, when I see conversion, it hurts me. So what, not only this organization or other organizations, they're doing to save it?
Conversion. Nobody can convert you.
The poor people, they convert.
Yes. So here is the question that he's asking. So first of all, we have to ask the question, spirituality is a very selfish business. It's all about realizing self. If you understood the pun, spirituality is about the big self, S-E-L-F, not the small self. Now people are worried about, they are converting the poor or into some other religion, some other faith. Is this right or wrong? Let's not worry about that. The very first thing that we have to ask about ourselves is ourself. Each individual, how grounded we are. And a lot of people ask me this other question, Sanatana Dharma is going to die because a lot of people are getting converted into other religions. I said, no, hello, look. What are you talking about? Sanatana Dharma has existed for eternity. Nobody can destroy or diminish Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is the foundation of the entire mansion of humanity. If Sanatana Dharma is destroyed, the whole mansion is going to collapse. So don't worry about some people getting converted. What is the problem with let them get converted? No. Is there any problem? They are becoming converted to another religion to chant the name of God. Is there a problem? No problem, no. Let them chant the name of Jesus. Let's adore Jesus. Is there any problem? There is no difference between Jesus and Shiva. There is no difference between Muhammad and Allah and Nanak and all these things. These are all the things that are man-made given faiths. Bhagavan therefore says, Allah yanchu Muhammadiyulu Yehovah yanchu Sakraistavul Bhullab Jakshugatan Vaishnavulu Shambhoyatan Shaivulunu Ullasambuna Kori Kolva Yallarakayur Bhoga Bhagya Sampallabhambula Sangadi Paramatmundu Vakade Sududi Paramatmundu Vakade Sududi చూడుడి పరమాత్ముండొక్కడే చూడుడి. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. All I want is your love, my child. All I want is your faith. All I want is your love in God, no matter what your faith. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad all came to this land. All came to this land. All of them had the message of love, to love your fellow man. All of them had the message of love, to love your fellow man. So say Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. The light you see in the dark of the night is that of God in man. And the light you see in the dark of the night is that of God in man. All of them had the message of love, to love your fellow man. All of them had the message of love, love your fellow man. The light you see in the dark of the night is that of God in man. Follow the light that is in your heart and seek the promised land. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba my Lord. I fear when I am here. You also go convert everybody, brother. Convert in the name of Satya Sai Baba. Give them love, give them money, give them clothing, give them service, and let them all be converted to Satya Sai Baba religion, which is all religion. So don't worry about somebody converting somebody else. And it is not the point at all. The point is love and serve all. That is the only point. And if they get converted to some other name of God because they are getting loved and served and you feel bad about it, you go tell your God's name and love and serve them more than what they do. Is that making clear? Clear sense, no? Yes, I understand what you are concerned about, but it is not a concern. Let the poor be loved, let them be served. And if they say the name of Jesus in the name of love and service, be happy for them. Okay? If they say the name of Allah, be happy for them. Because Swami said, Allah yantu Muhammadiyulu, Yehovah yantu Satkristavulu, Pullabjakshudatantu Vaishnavulu, Shambho yatantu Shaivulunu, Ullasambuna Korikolva Yallarako, Bhoga Bhagya Sampal Labhambulu, Osangedi Paramatmundu Vakkade, Chudidi. The light is one, the current is one, the bulbs are many, the fans are many, the speakers are many, the current is one. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you for asking. I'm worried if the sisters are worried that I can't answer their questions, or maybe or everything is clear to them. Sister had some question? Yes. Yarama? Yes, mother. Sai Ram.
I do not have any question. I only have comment or thanks to you.
Sure.
It's very nice. You took time to share Swami's love with everyone. And
Can you
yes,
come to the front, Amma, so everybody should listen to you? Yes. Very good. The mountain cannot go to Thomas. Thomas should come to the mountain. Okay. Thank you.
Pranams at Swami's feet. I want to express my thanks and gratitude for you to take time and come and speak to all of us, and also all the organizers who bring you here for our sake, and that is service to Swami. And yes, Swami is living through all of us. And coming here today, I really feel that Swami is not just keeping up his word. He said, I'll be in and around you all the time. And he really is. Yesterday evening I had 2 children and they wanted to know about Swami from me. And in between I just thought for a moment that they haven't seen Swami physical form. How can I explain to them what it is to know Swami or love Swami? But listening to your experiences or your satsang, I feel he's always in and around us, and even they can experience, even if he's not here in his physical form, they can experience the same love. So your presence is very encouraging for all the devotees. Thank you so much.
Sai Ram, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. You see, I always share with people that don't look at the instrument and get carried away. When you go to a concert, you don't go thank the flute. You thank the flutist. He is the flutist. Thank the flutist. Don't thank the flute. I'm not saying I'm the flute in the context of, but that is truly the experience. You don't say, oh flute, thank you very much for the beautiful way. You tell the flutist. He is the flutist. And the reason why I use the word analogy flute is, if you look at Krishna, he hardly spoke only one time, right? That is during Bhagavad Gita time. And what he spoke at the time, the rest of the time he was just simply playing flute, which is beyond the language, so people can listen and enjoy. So whatever he spoke, we only put Bhagavad Gita on the altar, and then what we do is, we put this. Swami said, okay, that's fine. What do you know about Bhagavad Gita? And then this man said, Swami, I know the first 4 words, Swami. Oh, really? What are the first 4 words you know? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. That's what he said. Oh, wonderful. You know the essence of Bhagavad Gita, Swami said. I said, what? What did he say? I said, look, Bangaru, what is the 2nd word? What is the 4th word? You are all thinking or sinking. Kshetre, kshetre. What is the 1st word and 3rd word? Dharmam kuru. Kshetre, kshetre, dharmam kuru. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever field you are in, do your duty. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, Swami said. See how incredible the Divine Lord is. How incredible. Only Bhagawan can summarize entire Bhagavad Gita into 4 words. And that too taking from what the devotees say, from his awareness, not from his awareness. Right? This is the beauty of Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba. He is only there to live and to love. And every one of us has absolutely been, he has created equally and wonderfully with the same potency. There is no instrument that is better than another instrument. Don't look at the instrument and get carried away. Thank the divine player. Thank the divine Sai Krishna. Thank the Jagat Guru. Thank the most supreme avatar that I would say that humankind has ever experienced and perhaps will never even experience more. That is Satya Sai Baba. I don't know whether Prem Sai is there or not. I don't really care whether Prem Sai is there. Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba is here and now. Let us pray to him more intensely and say, Swami, come on, we can't miss you. Come back. Like children crying for the mother will come running. Let's do that. Let's pray to him to come back, and so that we seek his love, we seek his blessing to live, to love, to listen, to learn, to laugh and to lead. Jai Sai Ram. We'll close the satsang with a bhajan and then two. Amma, question, yes. Yes, Saira.
I just wanted to thank you for this beautiful satsang and thank
Again,
Swami.
you're thanking the flute, huh? Thanks, Swami.
I just want to know how you came to do this satsang. And is it Swami's inspiration to you, or how are you doing this all over?
How am I doing this satsang?
Yeah, I mean your experiences also with Swami.
Very simple. Be nobody, nothing.
A little bit more in detail, please.
Huh?
I want to know about you.
About me, there's nothing to know about me, Amma. I am nobody, nothing. Really, seriously. I am an ordinary guy doing my work in some company. I came to know Baba through my daughter. I mean, I was not Bhagawan's devotee when I was in India, unfortunately. I became his devotee only after coming to this country 23, 24 years ago, with my daughter going to Sathya Sai spiritual education. At that time, it's called Bal Vikas. And the way I got attracted to Swami was, I used to drop, I'm very ordinary person, that's what I'm trying to emphasize more and more, whether you believe it or not. And I'm not a spiritually realized person or anything, so don't have any of those ideas. Disclaimer, don't buy this stock because of future projection and all those things. So the context of what I'm saying is, I got fascinated by Swami because of my daughter going to Sai spiritual education, and I used to drop her at SSC, and like many SSC parents, go to a mall or go watch football game, Cowboys games. And it happened a few months, and I started noticing that my daughter was saying some things when I was driving back home. How beautiful Swami is, how his message is, how wonderful Sai spiritual education is. And I got fascinated. Oh my God, this little 6-year-old child is getting so profoundly influenced by this person who is not even present physically, only empty chair is there. At that time, that's what I was thinking. Only empty chair is there, how come she is getting influenced? And I got attracted to him because of her, because of my child going to Sai spiritual education. So I urge all of the parents here who are still thinking that they should send their children to SSC. This is not a marketing campaign. I am telling you, genuinely, Swami will walk into your home and he will transform your lives.
Normally it's said that everything is written before, right? I mean, patta bhi nahi hil sakta uske bina. Normally it's said, right? And then other time we say that pray to him and you'll get everything. So these two different opposite things, right? Normally it's said that it's already written everything and like, it will not be done.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what are your beliefs on this one?
Oh, she asked a very beautiful question. It's a very important question. See, the spirituality in the context of surrender versus doing our own work. Now he's saying, if everything is already predefined, prescribed, and all the karma has been put into place already, why is it that now all of a sudden you have to pray and you have to do all this stuff? Ek sab kya hai? Anyway, whatever is written. Let it play out, why I should come and pray and all this stuff. Is that the question here? Wonderful question. Let him give us a hand. So the answer to the question is very simple, Amma. Supposing if you have to go to surgery, you have to get some operation done or something like that. And now you have two choices. The doctor says, I will do the operation without anesthesia or with anesthesia. What would you prefer? You have a choice, no? What do you say? With anesthesia. Okay. So, all the karma that you're talking about, the surgery has to be done. The stuff has to be removed, cut out everything. All that is prescribed. You have to be going through all of that stuff. This prayer, that you are praying him, give me anesthesia so I can go through all my karma. Right? That's all it is. Now, if you don't have to go through surgery and now you don't have anything to do now, then you're a very happy person. Then you can pray to him to cure some other person that has to go through surgery and with anesthesia. Yes, brother.
Saira. Can
Saira.
I say something on that point?
Yes. You can come to as I said, Thomas can come to the mountain. Mountain cannot go to Thomas. Yeah.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
So, during Shirdi Sai Baba's, when he was living, he used to prescribe a Nam Sapta, meaning chant name of God for whole week. And Bhagawan Sathya Sai Baba says, take chanting as a duty to God. So it's not like what should I do or should I pray. It's like praying or chanting as a duty. So I think that's the quote. So I guess God has given this life. Initially I had this idea that I work, I give money to charity, but Baba is just like mind blowing. He says, I give you work, I give you this. So it's like He giving us life, and He's telling chanting as a duty to God.
No, actually the point is this. Baba's message is very simple. There is nothing that belongs to us to give somebody. Bolo. Is the wind ours? Is the earth ours? Is the sky ours? Is the fire ours? Whose are all these things? And that's why when we sing Aarti to Tujhe kaya devu savalya mikhaya tariho, Tujhe kaya devu savalya mikhaya tariho, mi dubalina. We sing that Aarti, no? What is the meaning of that Aarti by Janabai? Janabai was the servant in Namdev's house. She was an untouchable. That Namdev actually took her into his house. And Janabai used to do this chakki at Namdev's house. And seeing her devotee do all this work, and she used to do abhangs when she was doing this chakki. You all know that Aarti, we all sing that Aarti to Bhagawan Shirdi Sai Baba, right? She's saying, Tujhe kaya devu savalya mikhaya tariho. What is it that then when he was doing the chakki, Panduranga used to come and do chakki and used to say, Jana, you just sing my bhajans, my abhangs, I will do the chakki for you. And so he used to do the chakki, he used to take out all his instruments from his body, he was doing the chakki, and then after a while, God feels hungry, and he said, Jana, I'm feeling hungry, can you please feed me something? And then Janaba is saying, what is it, God, that I can actually feed to you? I am after all a servant in Nama's house. There is nothing I can feed you, Swami. All your devotees are sitting there and they are ready for Kakada Aarti. They are going to bring Naivedjam. Come on, go partake in that. What she is saying is, nothing in this world is ours to give to God. In fact, there is a beautiful song that says, Yemi setura linga, Yemi setura. Ganga udakamu techi neeku, linga poojalu setamalte, Gangaloni chepakappa, yengilantunnadi linga, Mahanubhava, Mahadeva Shambho, Ma Punyamurti, Yemi setura linga, Yemi setura. అక్షయావుల పాలు తెచ్చి అభిషేకము సేతమంటే అక్షయావుల లేగదూడ ఎంగిలంటున్నది లేగా. This person is singing, Swami, I want to bring the honey and I want to pour it on you for doing puja. What are the bees saying? अरे यार, ये तो हम झूठा कर रहे हैं. Already it is jhuta. We tasted the honey. How can you take the jhuta and pour it on God and say you are doing abhishekam? And if I want to bring the milk of the cow, the calf is saying, "Arey, ye to hamara hai. Hum jhuta kar diya." I touched the mother and I got the milk already. How is it that you take my milk and you pour it on God and you say you are doing abhishekam? What is it that we are belonging to, that we have to say only one thing that we have and he doesn't have? Okay? That's what we have to give. You understand? If you understood what is it that we have and he doesn't have, then you offer it to that. Because when you go to giving some bridal registry, you want to give a gift, You think about it, ladies are very good. They even know every saree color shade and the pavadas matching also, and they think, oh, that saree she already has, I can't give that saree, and you will select a different color. And how much attention you pay? You want to give somebody what they don't have. And God is asking, give me something. What is it that you have to give? Not all the money, the donation, all the flowers, all the puja, ये तो तुम्हारा नहीं है, ये तो भगवान का है. Arey, how can you take what he already gave you and give it back to him and say, I am giving you, what is this? Give him something that he doesn't have and you have. And that is your mind. Take your mind away from your senses. Offer your mind at Bhagavan's feet. That's why he said, Manasa bhajare Guru charanam Dustara bhavasagar taranam Manasa bhajare Guru charanam Dustara bhavasagar taranam Guru Maharaj Guru Dev Guru Maharaj Guru Dev Sai Nath Sadguru Dev Sathya Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Manasa bhajare Guru charanam Manasa bhajare Guru charanam Tara bhavasagar taranam Adi Tara bhavasagar taranam Guru Maharaj Guru Jai Jai Guru Maharaj Guru Jai Jai Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Sathya Sai Nath Sadguru Jai Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Omkaram Bhava, Om Namo Bhava Om Guru Jai Guru Satchidananda Guru Om Guru Satchidananda Guru Om Guru Jai Guru Satchidananda Guru Om Guru Jai Guru Satchidananda Guru Satchidananda Guru Sai Guru Mama Guru Satchidananda Guru Sai Guru Mama Guru Om Guru Jai Guru Satchidananda 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 Guru Om Guru बोल समर्थ सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की Jai Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. That's a beautiful conclusion for Guru Purnima, is to take the love and the message of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. That Guru is saying, offer your mind at my lotus feet. Then what happens? The mind is the one that is constantly going through this turbulence. And when you are going through this turbulence, Bhagavan says very beautifully a metaphor. If you take a piece of iron rod and you drop it in a bucket of water, what happens to the iron rod? Sinks, yeah. S-I-N-K, not S-Y-N-C, right? Yeah. English is a funny language. You can't make the difference what you're saying. So it sinks in the water. But if you take the same metal rod and now you put it in fire and you beat it with a hammer and now it becomes a sheet of metal, not a rod of metal. Now you throw it into this bucket of water. What happens? Floats. The weight has not changed, but the volume has changed. Similarly, if you take this mind and you throw into this samsara, this mind will sink, S-I-N-K. But if you take the same mind, put it in the fire of wisdom of divine consciousness and beat it with the divine name. Beating. Remember why you clap? This is why you clap. Now you are hitting this mind with the divine name, the fire of the name of God, and hitting this with this hammer with your claps. This mind now expands. It doesn't contract. When it expands, it floats in the samsara. It doesn't sink in the samsara. Therefore, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam Dustara Bhava Sagara Taranam. Then you are in the boat of this divine consciousness, SAI, service, adoration, illumination. Same as I, SAI, so am I, SAI, seek always inside, SAI, see always inside, SAI, put apart I, put apart I. Put apart I. And then you are reaching the divine abode, Prashanti Nilayam, to realize what Sat Chit Ananda Kandam, always being, awareness, bliss, absolute. Sai bhajan bina sukha shanti nahi, Hari naam bina anand nahi, Hari naam bina anand nahi, Prema bhakti bina udhar nahi, Guru seva bina nirvana nahi, Shanti nahi, Jnana bina samyog nahi, Prabhu darsha bina prajnana nahi, Jaya dharma bina satkarma nahi, Bhagawan bina koi apna nahi, Sai naam bina paramatma nahi, Sai naam bina paramatma nahi, Naam bina anand nahi, Prema bhakti bina udhar nahi, Guru seva bina nirvana nahi, Sai bhajan bina अवधान बिना संयोग नहीं, प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रकाश नहीं, दया धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना 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 नहीं, साईनाथ बिना परमात्मा नहीं, साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, सुख शांति नहीं, सुख शांति नहीं. I'll close this with a special prayer on Bhagawan and his mission. Om Namo Bhagavate Saishwaraya, नमः सत्याय च सत्य संदेशाय च नमः प्रेम्ये च प्रेम प्रकाशाय च नमो धर्माय च धर्म संस्थापकाय च नमः शांति स्वरूपाय च प्रशांति निवासिने च नमः सद्गुरवे च सुज्ञान प्रदाय च नमो नित्य सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपाय च निर्मल हृदयाय च नमः प्रसन्न वदनाय च निराडंबराय च नमो मितभाषिणे चाल्प संतोषाय च नमः सनातन धर्माय च सकल तत्वबोधकाय च नमो दीन जनोद्धरणाय च दाभोपशमनाय च नमः सर्वरोग निवारकाय च उचित चिकित्सा प्रदायकाय च नमो विश्वविद्यालय स्थापकाय च सद्विद्या बोधकाय च नमो निरंतर ग्राम सेवा तत्पराय च नित्य संकीर्तन प्रोत्साहकाय च नमः संप्रदाय पोषकाय च संस्कृति पुनर्जीवकाय च नमो वेदोद्धरणाय च वेद वेदांग वैभवाय च नमो ज्ञान सिद्धि प्रदायकाय च सर्वयोग साराय च नमः सर्वराग सम्मेलनाय च संगीत गान लोलाय च नमः सर्वान्तर्यामिने च सुलभ प्रसन्नाय च नमो विश्वजनन्यै च विभूति प्रसादकाय च नमो लीला मानुषाय च लिंगोद्भवाय च नमो ज्ञान निर्मूलकाय च हृदय परिवर्तकाय च नमः सर्वमंत्र साराय च नमः सर्वमत समन्वयाय च ओम नमः श्री सद्गुरु साईनाथाय नमो नमः. ओम श्री गुरवे नमः. हरिः ओम. सत्य भावञ्च मे प्रेम भावञ्च मे धर्म भावञ्च मे शांति भावञ्च मे क्षमा भावञ्च मे ज्ञानञ्च मे श्रद्धा च मे बुद्धिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे सुकृतिञ्च मे धीतिश्च मे सर्वभूत दया च मे निस्वार्थ सेवा तत्परता च मयिन्द्रिय निग्रहञ्च मे कामदहनञ्च मे क्रोध विसर्जनञ्च मे लोभ विध्वंसनञ्च मे मद विमोचनञ्च मे मोह निर्मूलनञ्च मे मात्सर्य विनाशनञ्च मे सायिश्च मे सायि नाम च मे सायि भावञ्च मे सायि प्रेमा च मे सायि चरणौ च मे सायि करुणा च मे सायि स्वरूपञ्च मे सायि स्मरणं च मे सायि सन्निधिं च मे सायि दर्शनं च मे सायि गानं च मे सायि गीतं च मे सायि वेदं च मे सायि संकल्पं च मे सायैव सर्वमयश्च मे सर्वस्य शरणागतिश्च मे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Sai Ramal, what else we need to recharge our body before Guru Purnima? I was very hungry when we started this program. Morning, I didn't have any breakfast. I just had 1 cup of coffee, and I was very hungry when I want to go and eat. But when we started singing the bhajan on Rama, I forgot about my hunger. And now it is 1. He was supposed to stop at 11:55, and he actually stopped at 12:55. I'm very thankful for Rajan Bhai. I was thinking why he wants to finish before 12:45, because we are up to till 12:45. Thanks to Rajan Bhai asking like that questions. I want to ask one more question to make it 1 more hour. But I know we all are hungry. Thank you very much, Sekhar Garu. For even though of your busy schedule, whatever is there, you have agreed to come to our centers. All the centers of New Jersey have been participating in this. This is the love, how we are all united. As Baba said, love also all be together. Thank you once more for coming over here, and we want you to come more and more. Right now, as the centers of New Jersey would like to give a small token of love, and please accept this as it's a gift from Baba, not from us. Now we cannot say no.
You cannot give gifts and all, brother, because there is nothing of, as I already said, nothing belongs to me. If you have to give a gift, you have to give it to him only, and that is the gift of our mind. So
I would request David, President of Scotch Plains, to please. And I would request Homedale's Sai Center President Somara Garu. I would like Brother Litesh to please come over here and stand with Dr. Sekhar. The temple authorities are going to give their token of love for them. I would request our priest Raghu and Sharma Garu and Girish to please come out here. Silent.
यो वेदां ब्रह्मणो वेद अमृतेनावृतां पुरीं तस्मै ब्रह्मज ब्रह्माज आयुष्केतिं प्रजादुः ॐ यो वेदां ब्रह्मणो वेद अमृतेनावृतां पुरीं तस्मै ब्रह्मज ब्रह्माज आयुष्कीर्तिं प्रजां ददुः फलं मनोरथ फलं पुत्र पौत्र प्रवर्धनं यस्मात् तस्मात् शवं मे स्यात् अतस्यान्तिं प्रियश्च मे
ॐ नमो नमो भवति
जायमानोन्नां केतुषसामेत्यग्रे भागं देवेभ्यो विददात्यायन् प्रचन्द्रमात् शिरसि दीर्घमायुः ॐ गृहे मुनयो मुनयो गृहे मुनयो वसन्ति वसन्ति मुनयो मुनयो वसन्ति वसन्ति देवानां देवानां वसन्ति वसन्ति देवानां कवयः कवयो देवानां देवानां कवयः कवयः पार्थिवासः पार्थिवासः कवयः कवयः पार्थिवासः पार्थिवासयति पार्थिवासः देवामिदमिदं देवा देवामिदम् इदं मे इदं मे सुमनस्य मानो मे सुमनस्य माना इति सुमनस्य मानो दिवि देवा देवा दिवि दिवि देवाः देवा वसवो वसवो देवा देवा वसवः वसवो दीर्घं दीर्घं वसवो वसवो दीर्घं दीर्घमायुरायुर्दीर्घं दीर्घमायुः समानं भवति सदायुः पुरुषस्येन्द्रिय आयुष्येन्द्रिये प्रतिष्ठति।
सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ देवता शिरडी साई सत्साई बाबा देवता अनुग्रह कटाक्ष सिद्धिरस्तु आयुष्याभिवृद्धिरस्तु तदास्तु साईनाथ करुणा कटाक्ष सिद्धिरस्तु।
शांता सामी शांता सुतिकुं समयतु अंतरिक्षकं शांतं दत्वायिना शांतं दन्ये शांतं सुतिकुं समयतु यौ शांता सादित्येन शांता सामी शांता सुतिकुं समयतु पृथ्वी शांतिरंतरिक्षकं शांतिर्जौः शांतिर्दिशश्शान्ति रवान्तरदिशा शांतिर्वायुश्शान्तिरादित्यश्शान्तिश्चन्द्रमा शान्तिर्नक्षत्राणि शान्तिरोषधयश्शान्तिर्वनस्पतिश्शान्तिर्गौः शान्तिर्जा शान्तिर्पुरुषश्शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिर्ब्रह्मणश्शान्तिश्शान्तिर्हेव शान्तिश्शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्तिः। सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय।
ब्रह्मार्पणं
Saira.